So if you were dating a low-quality guy, sometimes referred to as a loser, you want to know that, right? Especially if you're not sure about the relationship. Well, let's take a moment here to save your love life today. I'm going to show you 7 signs that you might be dating a loser. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Welcome back to the dating and relationship secrets that you need to know. First of all, let's be nice enough to consider that you would never willingly date a loser, right? I mean, you might be stuck in a relationship with a guy that's just not good enough for you. What are some of the qualities of a low-value man, one of these guys that we might call a loser? How would we even define a loser? Let's just agree that a loser is a guy that you know isn't good for you and isn't what you deserve in a relationship. He's simply a man that isn't willing to step up to the plate and be the man you need him to be. Maybe it's a bad patch in his life. Maybe he hasn't done enough work on himself. But you need to know so that you don't spend the rest of your life with somebody who can't make you happy. And also remember that when I'm talking about a loser here, I'm kind of doing that lovingly. I mean, no person is beyond redemption, but let's be honest, that doesn't mean you want to make a habit of dating guys that are, well, let's just say not good enough for you. Let them go figure themselves out and then come back to you when they've fixed their lives. So let's jump right in with the first sign that you're dating a loser. All right, the first sign that you're dating a loser is your family and friends don't like him. I mean, really don't like him. Now, this one is tricky because your friends and your family might not want to be the bad guys and tell you this. They may still be hoping that you're going to come to your senses and dump this guy before it's too late. But what they may not realize is that to you, he might not look all that bad, or you're just not seeing the same things that they are. But the reality is that their viewpoint is a whole lot more objective and balanced than yours is. You might have even dismissed some of their concerns in conversation before, but one of the best things you can do is to really put aside your feelings and ask your friends, and then later on ask your family, what do they actually think about this guy? Get them to tell you the truth. Ask them what they think about his good traits. Yeah, start with the good traits. Chances are you're not going to hear very convincing qualities here, right? They're going to be kind of lame. Their praise is even going to start sounding lame. And then you can ask them what they think about his weaknesses. Then you can bet they're going to have a ton of those. They want you to be happy, right? And you might feel defensive when they tell you that you're not seeing the truth. But the reality is, they probably do see him a little bit better than you do. All right, loser sign number 2, no ambition. Now, of course, if you see a man who appears lazy or he doesn't seem to have a lot of motivation, he's not a good prospect for you. Now, whether you realize it or not, you are watching out for men who may not be able to provide for you. That's what's going on inside. You're watching out for this provider instinct. Sure, some people like to call that gold digging, but that's not really what it is. It's actually attached to a very practical need for a woman. If a man can't provide for you and support you, that means that he's missing a lot of essential masculine qualities, things that are going to make you feel safe in the relationship. And he's going to be no good in a romantic relationship for you if he doesn't have them. What it really comes down to is, at some point, that he's lazy. There's a difference between fatigue and a clear lack of direction in his life, okay? Would you want to watch out for his inability to meet every basic expectation in a relationship? No. But there are some guys out there who just can't handle the ordinary pressures of life, so they try to avoid them by using other people. So watch out for that. The loser sign number 3 is his actions don't match his words. This one might seem kind of obvious at first, but the truth is that when a guy is not high quality, aka a loser, one of his most obvious outstanding qualities is that you just can't trust his words. He might be a liar. He might be less than trustable. He might likely be unreliable. But watch closely for a man that you can't completely trust his words. You'll always be uncertain where you stand with him, and that's shaky ground. And of course, your relationship will be shaky too. So are you having problems in your relationship right now? Are you wondering if he really wants to be in this relationship? A lot of women come to me wondering what the roadblock is that stops them from true love. Well, I finally made a quiz that can help you get past your roadblock. Go to datingfire.com/Help Me Carlos. Go take my quiz right now and find out what the roadblock is in your relationship. All right, loser sign number 4, he's self-centered. These days, narcissism seems to be the latest buzzword. Everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's accusing everyone else of being a narcissist. In truth, this is much less common than you might think, okay? True narcissism is not that frequent. But on the other hand, self-centered behavior seems to be everywhere, right? Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be famous online. And if you happen to connect with a guy who is obsessed with himself, you're probably going to be very disappointed in your relationship too. A woman deserves a large portion of the attention and focus within the relationship. Now that doesn't mean you don't have an obligation to nurture him back, only that as a woman, you know you want to be valued and desired. So don't rip yourself off. And definitely don't let yourself get sucked into the vortex of a self-centered man. If he doesn't show at least as much interest in you as he does in himself, ditch him right now. Loser sign number 5 is mistreatment of any kind. This one goes hand in hand with the previous sign because they tend to go together. Any man who does not consider you or how his actions will impact you, he's a loser. Losers like this will criticize and embarrass you in public. He will lower you to raise himself up. He will manipulate your feelings of self-confidence to suit him. He only cares about controlling you and pumping up his lame ego. So don't fall for it. The next loser sign is you're supporting him. Now I have to be clear and upfront here. If you're in a long-term relationship where both of you have made an arrangement that you will be the primary breadwinner and he will either stay at home to be a dad or just this is something to accommodate a very conscious lifestyle choice, that's fine. But if you find yourself slipping into a situation where he's leaning on you, or he's borrowing money from you all the time, or making you pay for everything, and he's unable to manage his own money, he's thinking more and more, he's sinking more and more into debt, and generally just lives off of you like a parasite, this is not a good thing, okay? And be especially watchful about him pulling you into situations that you might not be able to really bounce back from. Don't go co-signing any loans and don't take on any long-term responsibility for his well-being. Next loser sign is emotional issues. This is one that covers the whole spectrum, but what it really means is mostly anger issues. If your man can't control his anger, you need to watch out. Look at how he handles conflict. If you see problems where he gets into a lot of disagreements and fights, watch out, especially if you see him prone to violent responses like throwing things or acting out his anger. Keep in mind that most men will express anger more often than a woman will, which is always going to be a little intimidating for you. Most women convert their anger directly into sadness, and they're not usually used to handling a man's anger. At the same time, a good man will understand how to stay calm and how to basically calm you down when there's upset in the relationship. What you're looking for here is a lack of self-control. That's really the essence of a lot of losers' issues. Hey, while we're at it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. You can get these videos every single week, and I put them out regularly. You don't want to miss them, right? Go ahead and do it. Click the subscribe button below. Next loser sign is he treats other people poorly. Even if he treats you well, you can see a certain warning sign when a guy treats other people badly. One of the best ways you can spot this is when you notice that he really doesn't care about how other people feel, or he has this distinct lack of compassion. You'll notice it in how he treats servers and waiters at restaurants. Look for meanness and dismissiveness of other people, especially if he ignores other people in need, or he's reluctant to help other people. This could be a sign of some really bad behavior, possibly even sociopathic behavior, and it's probably going to accompany other warning signs as well, such as self-centeredness. Next loser sign is he's a blame stormer. One of the critical qualities of the loser is that they most likely will do anything to avoid responsibility or accountability. You have to be willing to own up to your mistakes and recognize that you might have done something wrong, right? Well, this is just ordinary conscientiousness for us, but for him, maybe not. And you should be able to expect that conscientiousness from every single man that you allow into your life, friends or otherwise. Losers are simply not capable of owning up to when they screw up. You'll notice that he always manages to make it somebody else's fault. He might even give you a fantastic explanation of how other people are out to get him, especially when things don't go his way. Of course, don't make a mistake of venting about other people's behavior. That's different. A guy can vent to you about things. We all do that. But what you're looking for is a pattern of him never being wrong and everybody else always being responsible for his failures. All right, last loser sign today. Hang on, this is the Big Kahuna. He's not emotionally available. Now, I kind of hesitated to call this a loser quality. After all, it's really indicating that he just needs some therapy and some inner work. The problem comes when he doesn't realize he's emotionally unavailable, and then he shifts the burden over to everybody else. just like the blame stormer, right? Losers have a difficult time being honest with themselves, which then translates into them not being able to open up to you or to other people. And let's face it, looking in the mirror is difficult if you know that you aren't living up to your own potential. This is why most of these low-quality guys simply choose to not look at themselves very hard. Complex feelings and the ability to navigate a relationship are mostly beyond them. They haven't come to terms with their own issues, much less being able to handle you. So keep an eye out for guys who can express how they feel, or they can describe or work through difficult or messy emotions. These guys are real gems when you find them, and it's worth keeping. When it comes right down to it, look, what we're calling here as a loser is actually a guy who really just needs to spend some time fixing himself. But the point is that you should not be the one having to do that work. You can help him, of course, but he's the one that has to show the initiative to want to change. It's got to come from him. And this is where a lot of women go wrong. These women set about changing a guy who is not such a good candidate for a relationship in the first place. And as a result, they become frustrated and jaded as they struggle to make this guy do something that he just doesn't want to do. Now, you might have a guy in your life right now that you want to convert into your soulmate, or a guy who you know is the one for you, but he doesn't see it yet. I've got a great little quiz you can take that's going to help you with this situation. Go on over to datingfire.com/is he the one. That's datingfire.com/is he the one. Find out if he's the one for you. You don't want to keep dating a loser. You want this guy to be your winner, right? So find out how compatible you actually are with him. Is this relationship going somewhere? Go find out. datingfire.com/is he the one. And hey, right before you run away here, don't go anywhere yet. Please do the big three before you go. Like and subscribe. Get this stuff every week. These videos come out every week, and I make sure that you get them first. 2, turn on notifications. Click that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get notified when I release more of these videos. If you're already subscribed, just share it with somebody you know. That's going to help get Carlos in front of somebody else. And spread the word about this information so women everywhere can start getting the success they deserve. Oh, number 3, comment below. Do you want another part to this video? Do you agree with these? Do you not agree with these? Do you want something totally different? Leave me a comment and let me know what you want. And don't forget to wait. In a few more seconds, YouTube is going to pop a recommended video here for you to watch. This is Carlos Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.